Okay, how are you? Very good. How are you, doll?
Yeah, good.
Now, my first recollection of you is someone who sits in the front seat and asks a million questions.
Yes.
Put that on the microphone.
Yes, that's correct.
But those million questions have served you well.
Yes, correct.
So let's just, obviously we've got Melissa up here, one of my amazing platinum coaches as well. So let's have a look at your journey. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about your backgrounds first?
Okay, you guys like the beer?
Asahi.
Originally, I'm from Malaysia, so English is always my second language. So when I arrived in Australia, I couldn't even speak a word of English. So
And how long ago was that?
That was 26 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got sent over here by boat, not by aeroplane, my dad actually passed away 3 years before that. So I got sent out to do my further study and left my mum and brothers behind. As a family rules is the uncles always push me to be a doctor. And just imagine just 2 years in Australia and try to get 96% to get into medicine is almost impossible. So I got 94%, so I'm 2% short. So I asked myself what I can do. So I figured out maybe I'll do a pharmacy as a drug dealer. And then I will become and reapply into medicine after that, just to fulfill the family wish. Because initially I really wanted to become an interior designer, but that would be disowned by the family forever. So since I started working as a pharmacist, I work really long hours because I understand how much and how important money is to me. Since my dad passed away, I literally lost all my pocket monies. So I work really hard. I literally work from 9 to 8. It's not 9 a.m. to not 8 p.m. So it's literally 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So 13 hours a week. And I pick up all the graveyard shift that none of the pharmacists want to work. So that clocked me into overtime. I'm so happy. So I got double pay all the time. And just in that very short time frame, I earned over 6 digits numbers for my income. So the first thing my accountant said to me is, negative gearing.
Of course he did.
You have to buy.
Of course he did.
Yes, and I bought a fair bit before I met my husband. And when I met him, I said, there's one condition. If we want to be together, you must buy negative gear property. To be the same page together, like my page, not his page. So together, he was earning about 6 digits as well. By combining the income together, we are unstoppable train, or more like unstoppable Shinkansen, the bullet train. We just went out there, we will be buying 3 or 4 negative gear property literally every year. And we have that fear of missing out negative gear property. We actually pay more to get that property. I know, so stupid. But after that we stopped, we couldn't get more money. I think the biggest fear back then is for the bank to say, no, you can't have money, right?
Which is of course going to happen if you keep buying negatively geared investment properties.
By the time we stopped in 2010, we had 14 negative gear property.
That must have hurt.
Back then it took a lot longer for the bank to say no than it does now.
Yeah. So what's your background, Paul? What career did you go into?
So I went into engineering.
Mm-hmm. Was that acceptable to the family?
No.
No.
It just kind of scraped through.
Oh, okay.
And
right,
I'm actually looking for an upgrade. if I may.
I think we'll take it over to you, Paul. Keep going.
Yeah, so after meeting Foong, the important thing was to go and buy some properties. So within a few months, I'd managed to buy a couple of negative gear properties.
Right. Way to go. So your position beforehand, yes, you had fear of missing out. You're $70,000 a year negatively geared, which is surprising. I actually thought you would have been more than that, but anyway, that's still okay. Got a couple of kids?
Yeah, anyone want to buy them?
I think you missed your career. I think you should have been a comedian.
They're currently a liability, but when they're 18, it will be an asset because you can transfer the money to them. That's a good thing.
I can testify to that. Okay, so when you were working all of this time, your boys actually didn't even live with you, did they?
No, I got a really nasty boss back then. So when I had my first baby, I remember he rocked up to the pharmacy and say, Foong, this is your last day? I said, yes. I thought he brought me flowers and said, congratulations. But then he said, I only give you 3 months for your maternity leave unpaid. And if you don't come back, your job will be gone. So after 3 months, I hand my baby over to my auntie and say, can you please look after him? Because I have no choice. I have to go and make that money to
pay the negative gearing.
Exactly. They are like bloodsucker. They really suck out dry. So the drugs can't fix them, okay? They are like leeches. They suck you so dry that you have no choice. You have to hand your baby over to my auntie. And I remember we used to drive there, like from our house to my auntie house, about 40 minutes drive. We would drive there, kiss him goodnight, put him to bed, and we drove back home. And the only time we bring him back is weekend. And guess what? I work weekend too. So I only see him probably in a very short few hours while he tried to look after the little baby. So that happened, and it happened second times again. That's when my second boy arrived, and same prick told me that, delete that, I did not say that. He said to me, same deal, Foong, 3 months, right, unpaid. So 3 months up, that's when my mum got diagnosed with cancer. So I went back to him and said, can I have extra 3 months to look after my mum? Mum was not Australian and not resident as well. So when she came over, we literally have to draw our equity out to do all the treatment, and that cost us about 80,000 for her treatment. So that just add on top of the bleeding from 70,000 negative gear property on top of that.
So it must have come as a bit of a shock when you came to the I Love Real Estate one-day event, and I'm up here going, don't negatively gear, you know, all of these things. I mean, how did that hit you? Because that was your core belief system.
I did not believe her at all.
Surely the pain that you were going through with the kids, not being able to see them, not being able to take time off for your parents, your mum, you know, the pain of meeting that negative gearing every month must have convinced you that I was right.
Well, kind of. Well, you see, when you are in so deep in pain, you don't know what to do. So when someone come along and say, whatever you've been doing for the last 7 or 10 years is wrong, then you start to question yourself, is that person really telling you the truth? Because, you know, when you have properties, your ego really tied together with that. I remember I was sitting at the back row. That first row was towards the end. Back row, first day when I met Dymphna, I crossed my arm. I really crossed my arm. I look at her, it's like, I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Because I got 14 negative gear property. What does she know? Like, oh my gosh. And then when she explained all the reason behind it, that penny really dropped. And then I signed up. He wasn't there. So I went home and tell him, we did not talk for a while.
Because your whole condition of getting together was that you had to negatively gear. Now she's going, negative gearing's no good. does that mean, the whole premise of your relationship is now on edge?
Yeah, we pull out our divorce document together and go through the fine print and what is a pre-note and everything that we had to go through. No, he was a bit upset that I spent $10,000 to sign up Quantum, and he said like, we know everything about property. Why should we trust this woman? He even looked her up. Trust me, he's a security IT consultant. He looks her up, not me.
Yeah. when she first put that up there, that I was resistant to it, I didn't think that was true, but then when I thought about it, I realised it was. I guess, with our property, I've thought that probably having some more advice, which is going to tell us to buy more property, is probably not what we needed.
Different property.
Yes. And I didn't understand that at that stage. So that's why I was resistant. And so naturally I went looking for reasons to kind of get out of that sticky situation, and if you seek, then you find.
So you looked at the deals that you had, because that's obviously, if you've got a decent sized portfolio, even if they're negative, you look at them and go, well, what else can I do with them? Can I improve them? Can I do whatever? Or do I need to go and do new deals? What was this deal?
So this deal actually came along last year when we had the Adelaide boot camp, and I was whinging about we couldn't move forward, we couldn't get money from the bank, and one of the members actually said to me, why don't we do a deal together? And that's when that happened, because by then we already had a fair bit of our renovation knowledge at the back, in the background, because we did a few reno for our own property. So that deal took a bit longer than we expected because we got council delay and everything. But
you made a good profit on it?
Yeah, we're quite happy. At least she's happy, so that's important.
So that led to another one?
Yes, that is from JV with the community members again. And he approached me to say, Foong, a small deal is better than nothing. And that's what we managed to come up with in 3 months, make 35 grand. And that deal was bought when we were in Budapest.
So that's pretty good. Then we have another one here, which is another JV deal. So you're getting into it now.
Yeah, we quite like to do JV deals. The reason is, we can buy a property ourselves, but I think the process is a little bit too slow. And not only that, try not to be too self-centered. If I can help a family to move forward and make some money together, it is all about journeying together. So if we can split the profit and we all can go on holiday together, that is fantastic.
I think it's a bit more fun to work with other people too, right?
It is.
So we can talk about what we want to do and get different ideas, and it works well like that too.
Very good. So termite and asbestos on that one, but I assume that's all overcome. Another little one, another $70,000 profit. There's nothing, you can't go broke making money. These are not huge figures, but it doesn't matter. You can't go broke making money. And that's now where you're at.
Yes, that is so all our deals is in South Australia. So I'm a control freak. So I like to control all my project myself. So to me I remember I was sitting at the front eventually, and Dymphna said to me that a deal is a deal. It doesn't matter whether it is a big deal or small deal, just do a deal. And that's how I managed to talk to my JV partner and say, look, if we make a small deal, then we can all go on holiday.
That's right. That's exactly right. Or buy another property. So new property deals, you're branching out a little bit more. Superannuation funds, great for commercial property, which by now I guess you've set up a self-managed superannuation fund and into another deal.
Yeah, that never came across our mind a few years ago because I thought that is for old people. So then when we look at how much our...
You really need to be on the stage doing comedy. I'm serious.
Hey, if there's another income, I'll do it.
Oh, dear. Do you want to talk about this one, yeah?
Okay, so we look at our super and it's just making pathetic income. So we said we want to in control. Remember, control freak again. So we pull out the money and then we look around and say, what can we do with that? This deal is, and I was really picky because I said I want to have a healthcare type tenant in there. So we found this deal, then it rented out to the hearing company, and across the road is a Robina hospital. So I know best bet if they do move out, I can turn that into a medical for professional as well. So this is really new to us. Remember, we negative gear, we are forking out money. To have this money coming in, it is like a shock to the system. Now you can see the bank accounts actually got money coming in. I was just like, whoa, this is, I take Valium for that because I just really need to calm myself down. I can get those drugs for free,
So after all those years, this is the first time we actually bought a positive geared property.
So maybe I wasn't quite so wrong.
So our goal for our super fund is we want to purchase a commercial property every 2 years.
Good.
And that is enough
Good
to
plan.
get us, So we structure in such a way that we get interest only for the first 2 years, keep that money with his income coming in as well, so we can continue on buying a positive cash flow commercial property.
So just on your side, you're still a drug dealer?
Yes, I am, legally.
No.
It can be not legal too if you want to. Talk to me after.
Are you working as hard? I mean, do you get to see these two boys?
I'm working 5 hours every fortnight now. So I'm the on boss. So when I quit my full-time job, literally in less than 24 hours, I got 2 people calling me up and said, Foong, we got full-time job for you and we will pay you more. So it is good to be recognized in my peer group to say that I'm a good pharmacist, I'm a good drug dealer. But I just keep reminding myself the why, and I had to pull myself back and kindly say to them, no, I can't do this anymore. So now I'm the on boss. I pick and choose the job I want to do. So, if people call me up and say, oh, we've got pharmacists can't turn up to work, and can you come and replace them? And I'll see how far the location is and what sort of hours they want me to do, and I can say, no, I don't want to.
And you got that choice?
I have that choice.
Yeah. So for you, Paul, you're happy doing what you're doing?
Well, for the time being, I'm still working full time.
Yep.
I quite
enjoy
like
your career? You enjoy your career?
Yeah, it's not bad. I quite like the business though, as well, and I'd be quite happy to move into that at some stage as well.
Yeah, when the time's right. Yeah. Okay, so more important things than property. What are you doing here?
Remember I said about I want to make one happy family each time. So even though our deal is not such a big deal, but we always believe that there's more people outside our community needs a lot of help. So this year I decided to embark to Nepal to build houses for earthquake victims, and we built houses from scratch, literally. And you see the difference. You actually put a roof over someone else's head. Can you imagine yourself sleeping with cows and goats? Well, not sleeping with them, sleeping next to them. Okay, that is a little bit too far. You're sleeping next to them in the same room. And this is what happened in Kathmandu in Nepal. So we literally have to travel 2 hours from Kathmandu into this village. And then from the village to the smaller village is another an hour by 4 drive. We spent about 7 to 10 days there. I think we spent 7 days there to build 3 houses for them. And we met all the family, and the kids there, they had no toys. They have literally no pencil, no toys at all. And that make me feel like we are very lucky. And I look at my kids and I constantly tell them about one word, is gratitude. Like, these people has nothing, and that's why our vision is to help one family each time, to give them the roof over their head, give their children a head start rather than living in that poverty.
So you're good on you, yes. So your final results here, you started at $70,000 negative cash flow, but you had reasonable equity in what you had, which is obviously the good side of negative gearing, if there is a good side. You could have had that without the negative, but anyway. Look at you now.
Yeah, we're quite happy.
So on top of what
it's a
you've
big
had, you've
improvement.
made $500,000 and you've turned the portfolio around, so you're actually positive.
Yes, and that profit of 490, that is just within the last 12 months. So
490, is that more than you earn as a drug dealer?
ooh,
The legal drug dealer.
oh, a lot more. No, actually, when I first started, I made about, as a pharmacist working non-stop, 13 hours a day for 21 days non-stop. I've been there before. My yearly income as a pharmacist was about 110, and this is more than double.
For working 5 hours a week and just doing some bits and pieces. And
Oh, no, 5 hours per fortnight.
oh, per fortnight.
So technically 2.5 hours a week. I just have to keep my license alive just in case.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it back if I lose that, but I still can always be an illegal drug dealer if I need to be.
So what does your family think? Because obviously they want you to be, the medical doctor and all of these things and have the career, work your guts out, but that's what they want. What do they see with you now that you're this lazy property investor?
I never mentioned that to them.
You haven't told them.
Whatever say here, stay in this room. It must not spread over that door. I am really scared.
You guys are amazing. Thank you very, very much. She's a clown.